Hicks, always wanting them snacks. I'm kind of liking it. All right. Let me get that music turned down a little bit for us all. You should hear it. You should still hear it. Okay. I'm still getting used to everything. I need a tinker check. I'm going to literally call it a tinker check, which means I need you guys to help me make sure you can hear me okay. Again, we're still getting used to all this. So yes. What's up? Never let the machine win. Love it. Or is it machines? I forget. But greetings from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Cold up there, I'm sure. Fun with Car says, now I see you. Yeah, I was kind of I was going to leave it on the overlay a little longer, but I wanted James to know that I saw that. I was like, yeah, there's always going to be snacks, Hicks. So I'm using StreamYard, so I kept the overlay up, added myself to the studio, knowing my video would still be behind the scenes and my audio on so I could talk. There you go. So yeah. All right, well, we're back. We're doing a little tinkering again tonight. I have, if you were here recently, you know that I've moved the studio downstairs. So we're in the basement, and it was kind of a hot mess last time I was here. It was messy, crap everywhere. Still crap, but it's more organized. The crap is in a pile together over in one location. And then I have painted the background. James says looks good. So fantastic, very good. So Fun with Cars says first time here. All right, well, welcome. I feel like I've seen you in the comments before, but that's okay. Maybe over on the StreamYard channel. Okay, so the walls were very light gray. I called them prison gray. And then now they're dark gray, which they may not look that color to you. They may look more of brownish, whatever. I do have a purple Govee light up in the track lighting shining back just to give it a little color. I can change that color. And then I got a new shelf, got some stuff back there. My daughter tells me those lights don't go together. She says, Mom, this lava lamp and this other lamp, they just don't go. So, but it's okay. I kind of we're just figuring it out, right? We're just we're tinkering. We don't have the backdrop done, but I do have, I did add the second camera. See if I can do this without going crazy here. I did add the second camera. So I do have my other camera set up. I literally just hooked it up right before this stream. I had to find the right cable. So that is definitely going to need adjusted for sure. We're definitely going to be figuring out where that belongs. Whiteboard is cleaned off. I want to use the whiteboard, and I want to use it even during streams. So that's something that's in my goals, is to kind of figure out how can I incorporate the whiteboard. I might have to get a different whiteboard, one of those whiteboards that has a matte finish so that there's no glare. Because obviously, as you can see, there's a glare from my key light that's up above me. So either way, obviously this needs adjusted. I just hooked this thing up right before the stream. So I'm just glad it's working. I'm just glad it's working and it's on screen. And that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep that there. All right. So basically, tonight's goals. Kind of here. There's a few things that I have not. So just, again, I used to go live all the time, had my workflows, kind of had all my stuff, my gear, my gadgets, my things. Everything was basically everything was looking good. Everything was working good. I took it all apart, everything, unplugged absolutely every single thing from everything, packed it all away for at least a year, and I've slowly got it back out and slowly kind of getting things plugged back in. And I'd like to get a background camera set up, but there's a number of things I'd like to do. So I wanted to get the space sort of at least how I felt I wanted it, and then I kind of wanted to go from there. So that actually was quite the journey itself, is deciding where am I going to kind of keep my space, my station, all that. I had to get the internet straightened out because down here in the basement it was not friendly at all. at all. So it was terrible. But we're all good now. And so I feel like I've got the space of the location. I think eventually I may even put a chair back here, and I've got quite a bit of room to work with. I could even take this further out if I wanted to. But I may put a chair back here because obviously I'd like to also do some video podcasts. I'd like to get the podcast going again, but I definitely want to incorporate the video with it. So that's on the agenda as well. I feel like I need to move my logo. Let me move my logo. And I see some awesome comments coming in. So I'm definitely going to chime in here in a sec. Okay, so I know I can move it. Yeah, there we go. I think that might be better. Because, with the light and whatnot, I don't know. Whatever. We're going to keep it there for now. Again, we're just kind of tinkering. So you guys just give me the feedback. Tell me what you guys think about this so far, and we'll kind of go from there. Tish is here tonight. Good to see you. It's always fun. Oh, Mike says, it's got that speakeasy vibe. That's actually kind of cool. Mike says, lava lamps always fit. Yeah, lava lamps has been part of my thing for a while. It's certainly been an element of my brand. So I had to bust that out for sure. Got the fake plant back there because we're in the basement. I do have a window that if I were over there, if I had a plant over there, it would probably get some good light and would be fine. But it's easier just to put the fake guy back there. All right, Tish says, the lights go together in my brain, but I'm very eclectic. I'm the grunge girl that loves neon lights. So yeah, I know. Addie just was kind of telling me she just really felt strongly that they didn't go together. But I'm going to just... Hey, I always love her input. I do. I love her input, but I also sometimes, just kind of, I'm going to do my own thing no matter what. So I always feel like there's heat. I can never figure out where the heat comes from because the front of my face gets hot. But it's funny because it doesn't when I'm just down here working. And I do feel a tad bit of heat coming off my monitor. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I saw something else. I saw a question too. No, James says, we'll get you a CPL filter for camera 2 and that'll help with the glare. Okay. Hey, the only issue with that camera is it's not going to focus on the whiteboard. So I do think I actually have my OBS spot camera, which is the one that follows me around. I think I might use that. That one could work because then I can be up. But if I am going to be doing the whiteboarding while I'm live on the whiteboard, instead of like my iPad or something, then I'm going to need a lav mic of some sort too. So there's a lot of things to figure out. Right now, I started to put some stuff on the whiteboard. I've got, let's see. You can't see it. See, that's the problem. It says research, and it says stitches and hands-free. That's what it says right now. What I mean by those two things, hi. What I mean by those two things is, like, I would like to look into how you can watch somebody else's content and kind of chime in. Not like the real short stitches. I mean, of course, that's a thing too. But I want to be able to, like, let's say, for example, I want to pull up a Pat Flynn video and be like, hey, listen to this, check this out. Pat said this really cool thing, and play part of it while I'm live or whatever. And, like, I want to make sure that I'm covered on, like, the legalities of all and all those things. So that's kind of a thing. I want to make sure that I'm not, I want to be kosher, always want to be kosher at all times with that stuff. So, let's see. I know that, there we go. Fun with Cars said, what are you using to control your cameras and effects? So I actually tonight am only using the StreamYard Studio. So I'm not sure how familiar you are, if you're familiar with StreamYard, but I am literally just using the StreamYard Studio. So I am using the extra camera feature. So that is how I have the second camera that I can easily toggle between inside the studio, which is a browser-based studio. And because I'm using that in the StreamYard application, it's already muted that camera, so I don't have to worry about it picking up extra audio or anything like that. So super easy to use. And then as far as the banners displaying your comments, that's all built into the StreamYard Studio. So right tonight I am just using the StreamYard Studio, and that's it. So yeah. Tish said, I'm having to do that too. Start over in a new space. I went from studio to a kitchen. Yeah, because you're doing the candy stuff. Talk about an acoustic nightmare. Yeah, Tish, that's on my list to be able to do some cooking and kitchen talks with Mel. And I have absolutely I've done some content in the kitchen, and the acoustics is definitely a thing. And then what's up, kiddo? What's up? Is that your profile? What is that profile? I don't even know what that is. Addie's upstairs watching the stream. Probably so that she knows when I'm going to come upstairs. But it's all good. Bowling with the Fef. Yes, I am back. Yes, Fef, this is my second live in about a week. And it's been quite we literally are taking stuff out of totes and replugging stuff in. So we're kind of having some fun here. So basically, what was I saying? I got distracted. That always happens to me. I don't know. I forget what I was saying. I'm not sure. Oh, the cooking with Mel. Yes. Acoustics was an issue. The other issue I ran into, Tish, was sort of like lighting and just having cameras in positions where I was able to do so. It's a lot harder than you think. So any of y'all that have ever done those kitchen shows or shows, we have a lot of crafters that tune into my channel, and people that literally are doing crafts, and then planning. Marianne tends to watch. That is harder than you think. You have to have multiple cameras. You got to have angles, but the lighting is another aspect, especially when you're doing something in an environment like a kitchen, to be able to do some cooking and stuff. So it's on my list. I should probably write it up there, actually. I need to have that. That is another thing I want to write, is objectives, right? All right, so Fun with Cars says, are you in the South? I am in Indiana, and we got 11 inches of snow yesterday, y'all, and it's freezing cold, and I did not go to the gym today because my workout happened in my driveway, 100% in my driveway. My neighbor had he brought over the Bobcat, did some stuff with the Bobcat but I had to get the edges. I had to get the sidewalks. I have a really funky driveway, and it's got curves. So yeah, that was a lot. Anyway, so it was a lot. Addie, we were talking earlier about the your lack of enjoyment on my dual. I gotta get that right. My dual lights. She said the lava lamp and then the bulb lamp don't go together. But I love how Fun with the Car says the light from the 1900s. Yeah, it is kind of that look, right? But I like it because it creates that backlight, but not too much. I wasn't sure that it was going to work out, but it actually worked out pretty well. So Tish said lighting is next, but I'm trying to get my Dadey mic to pick up where I want it to pick up. I don't even know what kind of microphone that is. There you go. I don't even know what kind of microphone that is. I need to update my banner. All my banners need updated. I was actually in here and I was like, man, that's another thing I got to get updated. Where is I had an actual, hold on. I've got another list. I don't know about you guys. I like to use index cards. I love to use index cards to make kind of quick hit punch list things. It's not a big notebook. I like how it's small. I like the small footprint of it. But yeah. Okay, so banners need cleaned up. Overlays. It's been so long since I've been streaming. I mean, I still have all kinds of stuff in here. Look at this. Welcome. Opening question. Have you created your 2024 content calendar? Probably don't need to have that in there, right? So much stuff in here that's hilariously old. Media assets. This isn't going anywhere. We are not getting rid of the dancing parrot or whatever that thing is. I don't even know what that thing. It's like what is that thing? Does anybody really know what that is? It's a popular emoji that I converted into a GIF forever ago. Probably one of the initial things that put me on the map a little bit is I kind of figured out a hack to do that. But that thing is still in there. That's not going anywhere. That's staying. That's staying forever. So we're going to keep that. I got some other old stuff in here. Kind of fun, but whatever. Hey, I'm curious. Weston, I erased your note on my whiteboard. Because I needed it. I needed my whiteboard back. But you can always leave me notes. Let's see. We got. All right. Yes, we got people hanging out. I love it. Keep chiming in. So I need to make a list of the types of content I want to make. I need to make a list of the snap. Yeah. Okay. I got to stay on track, right? You guys are getting to me here. Okay, so I'm just laughing because Addie's friends are starting to jump in, and it's hilarious. It's cracking me up. Let's see. Hold on. I thought of something a second ago. There it is. Dang said, you need a list to help remember where your list is. Yes, thank you, 100%. Because that's what happens. I go crazy. My ADD jumps in. I got lists for lists, by the way. I really do. But I like this. We gotta do the cleanup. Oh, I know I was gonna ask. Can you guys hear the music? Because again, I need. According to my sheet over here, according to what I've got, let me share. You should be able to hear the music, but as far as audio levels, that's always a little bit, tricky. So let me share the second screen. Screen 1 or screen 2? I don't know which is which. There we go. Nope. Screen 1 is what we want. Okay. So like I said, according to this, you should be able to hear, because this right here tells me what the output is. No music. Dang. Okay. We ran into this last time. Oh, I bet I did it again. I can fix it. I did this last time. See, I'm out of practice. That's the problem. Mic settings. Oh, I gotta go in here. That's weird. There's like 2 different places for mic settings. All right, that's what it is. All right, music incoming. Now you should hear music. You should hear music now. So what I had the wrong mic selected. So inside StreamYard, when you're using this microphone and you're using the application that you see here, Wavelink app. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Tish. Basically what happens is you have to pick the stream, this stream mix as the mic output, the mic for StreamYard, because all I had was the mic. So it was only picking up the mic. It was not picking up anything else I had routing through. So that's the case. Weston says, great music. Weston, I got a new candle too today, so you're going to like it. It's an inside joke we all have. All right, let's see. We were warmed up to 10 degrees yet. It's like 0 out there right now. I don't even know what it is, but it's really freaking cold. I know that. It's freezing cold out there. So, I saw something else. Oh, Tish said this. She said, the weather has been stupid. I stayed down here because I didn't have to deal with the snow and cold. Now we have both. Yeah, well, there it is. That's what it is. So, one of the things that I want to make sure that I get, 2 things. One, I will be utilizing OBS once again. So even though StreamYard can do all this fun stuff that you all see, OBS will allow me to have even more cameras. And so, because as we talked about last time, one of the cameras I want to be able to have is a behind the scenes camera. In fact, I have a camera set up, but I don't think I have a USB cable long enough. That's the crazy part. So I actually was looking for one right before the stream, and the only one I have is this one, and I don't think it's quite long enough. So I need a really long USB-C cable, because that is my OBS bot camera, which follows you around. So that's one of the cool cameras that uses AI to kind of track your face. And so if you walk around the room, it will follow you around. The challenge with that is you guys won't be able to hear me very well. But I was going to try to set it up as a down and dirty, quick behind the scenes camera, but I don't have enough length. So throw that over there. But we're looking good. The scene looks good back here. It's getting better. It's improvement overall. So banners, overlay, background camera. We'll write that down. The other thing that I've got to get set back up is my Stream Deck. I don't know how many of you are using Stream Decks, but I have the big Stream Deck. It's over here with all my other stuff sitting in a cubicle, not being used. But the Stream Deck Plus, for the most part, is probably sufficient for what I need. right? However, if I am going to be using OBS and I want to have all kinds of scenes, those of you might remember that have been here a while, remember how I used to dance during the countdown. I would have music playing and I would do a little dance as we got fired up and ready to go for my weekly live show. And it was fun, right? It was engaging, but that requires me to use OBS. So when you use OBS, you basically turn on the virtual camera, and then anything that you do inside the OBS studio can be output through StreamYard. So you can have way more customization, even though StreamYards come a very long way with customizing your stream, so much so that I still need to get acclimated with some of it. So like, for example, StreamYard now has streams. StreamYard now has scenes. So those of you that are used to something like an Ecamm or vMix, is vMix even still around? Surely it is. Nobody talks about it anymore, though. I think OBS has just come so far that vMix you got to pay for it and whatever. But anyway, and OBS is free, so it's a great application for how free it is. So I think that being able to use OBS, I may need to bust back the big Stream Deck back out. But the Stream Deck Plus I really like because it has the knobs. See, this is why I wish my other camera had a different angle, because you'd be able to see it. And how I have it set up right now. Let me do this. So I don't think it's totally not gonna reach. Maybe I just don't want to plug anything because my cameras are absolutely routing through this. So I'm using the Stream Deck Plus, but I'm using the one that actually has the ports in the back. So they added the add-ons to the Stream Deck Plus, so it's got knobs. I can adjust my light, actually. I can make it brighter. I love it. I can change my music. I can do a lot of stuff with the knobs, but then you can switch through the things to control other applications. But I'm using this because I've got other stuff plugged into it. I'm using the actual dock. This is the USB dock one that you can add onto the back of it, and I love it. I have another one that I could hook up an XLR microphone to, but I don't need that because I'm using the Rode X, the Streamer X, which is this guy right here. That's where my camera, my main camera is plugged into that. And then if I wanted to use an XLR microphone, I would probably just put it in there. But then again, whatever. The thing that sucks about all this is that I like parts of different applications and pieces of hardware. That's the challenge, because technically the Streamer X is really all I need, because now you can even program some of those buttons to be shortcuts. If I used that and I didn't want to use this Wave 3 microphone, which I love this microphone, and I wanted to use an XLR microphone, like a fancy mic, then I wouldn't need this, and I wouldn't need the Stream Deck Plus, and I wouldn't need the Wavelength software. But I like the Wavelength software. Anyway, it's the challenge when you like all the different gear and all the different things. That is truly the number one challenge I run into. In fact, James Hicks the other night on his channel, they were talking about this. It's like there's no one perfect suite of products. So like Elgato has done probably the best job. Rode is, in my opinion, right behind them, because they've started to come out with application software that's competing. But Elgato's got so many things. The suite of hardware matched with the software is fantastic. Everybody's just really close. But I will tell you, if Stream Deck, when they came out with these add-ons for their Stream Deck Pluses, if they would have just come out with one that had an input for your camera or multiple inputs for your camera and it turned it into a camera switcher, game changer. Game over, game over. Like everything else goes away. Anyway, that's just my little tangent that I wanted to get on. Bowling with the Fef says, have you ever used Prompter XL with or without Stream Deck? I have not. So I do have a teleprompter, but I do not have the Elgato one. I've heard good things about it. I've also heard some things that people don't like about it. I've heard mixed reviews. It's been a while since I've really watched any content where people were talking about it. There was a lot of content about it when it first came out, but I feel like that kind of staled out. Is this just playing the same song? No. Okay, good. What song is it playing now? Oh, okay, good. This song is called Feeling Good, just so you guys know, in case you wondered. In case you did wonder, we are currently using, let's do that. Let's go to this guy though. I don't like that theme. Oh my gosh. We're using Epidemic Sound. That's the audio that you guys are listening to right now. So that is what you're right there, that list. So it's a website. You got to have a subscription for it to be able to use it. There's so much out there. I have never listened to this list before. I clicked on it, clicked a few songs, and I was like, I really like it. So that's what I'm listening to. But back to Bowling with the Fef's question. Honestly, I never used my teleprompter. I have used it. I just typically don't do those types of videos. However, I do think there is so much beauty in when you have one of those teleprompters that can mirror your screen. And I think that the Elgato one does that, where, for example, if you've ever been on a Zoom call or a Teams call, or you're streaming and you want to see yourself in the screen, you know, or you want to look into the eyes of your audience, you have to look into the lens of your camera. So like if I'm looking at myself on screen, that's what it looks like. Looking into the lens is how I look into your eyes, right? However, the disadvantage for me is that I can't read what's on my screen. So I can't read the comments. I have to look over or whatever. That's all fine and dandy. But I find that mirroring thing could be very helpful if you want to put a Google Doc up and you want to read some notes and you're still looking at your screen instead of over on you're looking in your lens versus looking onto another screen. So all little things and nuances that you got to get used to in your streaming that honestly, for me personally, I try not to overthink that stuff because I think most people don't mind when you take your eyes off the camera for a minute. In fact, I think it feels natural. It feels real. And as hopefully you're all realizing, and it's becoming more and more apparent, is people are drawn to realness right now. They're drawn to, hey, that's really her right now in her basement talking to us, not some AI fake thing talking to me. So I think you're going to start to feel and see that people are going to crave that raw and realness. I've always been a fan of it. That's why I love live content. And nobody cares if you need to look at your notes for a minute, or if you forget where you were, you lost your track of thought, or you need to write something down on an index card. People overall don't care. Now, some people care and they might want you to get straight to the point. Hey, they may not be for you. It's all good. Okay, let's see. vMix is still around, but stupid expensive and resource heavy from what I understand. It's always been resource heavy from what I understand. That's why I downloaded it at one time and it was like basically pointless to use. So I couldn't really use it because it was a bit of a hot mess, honestly. So U-Haul Shorts is here. Hello, thank you for joining us. Good to see you. Tish said the music got a little loud. Hopefully it's okay now. Oh, it's too loud. Is it? Maybe it's better now. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so here's the funny thing. So Fun with Cars says, I saw something else. The music, I like to play music in the background when I literally am just like tinkering. We're doing a lot of talking right now. Normally when I'm tinkering and I like have applications open, I'm trying to figure stuff out, I may not be talking as much. The music just helps kind of keep a little bit of a vibe going. And that is actually one of the things that I do find a little challenging when I am streaming music. I don't fully know exactly how loud it is other than just looking at the signals on my screen, and they're not always accurate. Like, I don't find the music levels when I look at the screen always to be accurate. So I appreciate the feedback, you guys giving me that heads up on the music. So that's good. It's very helpful. And again, we're tinkering. That's what we're here for. Literally. Okay. We're getting there. We're like, that's, again, not just me. And I'm sharing all this because I am hearing a lot of feedback from a lot of people that they are also trying to figure out how to kind of get back into the swing of things. Or there's a lot of creators out there, even big names out there that have taken a bit of a break that are also kind of getting back to it. But one of the things that I will say is I like sharing this because, as y'all know, I'm always transparent and that's what we do. But what's interesting is that a lot of people are like, yeah, it's nice to kind of watch you kind of dig back in, and you're saying things that I didn't even think about. Like, oh, I got to make sure all my stuff's updated. Your hardware, your firmware needs to be updated. Like, if you haven't used any of this stuff for a while, there is a process of getting your systems back in order, updated and everything. So not only software, learning and getting acclimated with the software, there's updates. In fact, Yeah, so like Dang said, StreamYard has a teleprompter now. I do remember seeing that update. I think it's a feature in the, I've also seen a lot of people say that it's buggy or there's some issues. So not sure about that. But again, a perfect example, the software you use in the applications, there's been a lot of, they all have updates. They all continue to evolve. And so there's stuff that I haven't even touched in StreamYard that's new that I'm aware of. I just haven't touched it yet. So you need to get acclimated with the applications. Maybe the UIs have changed since you've used them last. So you just got to kind of, you're not going to just, it's not going to be any different than when you first started doing this. It's going to take you time to figure it out. And as you all know, the best way to figure it out is to just get into it and do it. So whether it's go create a channel and you're just out there doing it for, shits and giggles for fun, do it. Who cares? Or go do it on your own channel like I am. I feel comfortable doing this because most of my content has always been, let's figure this out and have fun while we do it. So that's what we're doing. So you got to get used to your applications again, get used to the updates that have come out. But then also, like things may not work quite like they did. Like for example, I am telling you, those levels inside the Wavelink application, I don't feel are actually as accurate as they used to be at all. Like they just aren't. I know they're not because I see some things that don't make sense. So it's kind of one of those things where the music levels and all that, I got to get that dialed in, figure out, okay, where does it really need to be? Because I used to know where I wanted it, I used to know where I wanted it in here, as far as the levels, and, it's not quite there. I mean, it's, according to this, it's, really loud, but then according to this, it's not. So it's just one of those things, and that should be, it's just, it's hard. It's really hard to kind of manage. So anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll get it dialed in. Just keep giving me the feedback. Appreciate it. It's always good to have the feedback live when I'm doing this, because that's what the whole point is, right? Okay, Robin's here. Oh, you're over on your other channel. Robin's Egg Blue Creations is what I normally see showing up here. She said, I'm late. We'll have to catch replay. You're good, sister. You didn't miss much. We're just kind of tinkering around and having fun. Tish said, I cleared my entire laptop, so it forced me to download, update all the things. I'm kind of balls to the wall, though. Yeah, it's one of those things where that's not a bad idea to just clear things out, especially if you're completely, starting over completely from scratch. It's not a bad idea. Just get used to it and get back to it. Pete's here. What's up, Pete? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. We're just tinkering. Okay, so what did I write down? I wrote down, OBS. That was the other thing. So OBS, scenes, etc. That's all I'm going to put, because I could write down all kinds of crap when I talk about OBS. So, the OBS application, I was thinking about using it tonight, but then I was like, no, let's just not go there. Because OBS is actually, I think I'm going to probably clear it completely out, because I still have some old scenes in there, and I'm probably going to end up clearing it out so that I can get it to a point where it's just going to be like no kinks. Because the problem is like the way it's all set up, and I have files routed to other files. I just think it's probably cleaner to just completely start from scratch. So that's the thing. Tish says the music's still too dang loud. Really? Man, 10%? That is like nothing. She said the tracks change and the levels change. That's weird. I'm not hearing the levels change in the output. Maybe it's just the type of music. That could be it. Could be the type of music I got going on here. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. Sorry that the music is distracting. That's not the goal. It's not what I want to do. So yeah, as far as the goals on the channel, I'm really not going to figure that out yet. I'm just getting acclimated, tinkering around, having fun. I'm going to see what kind of nuggets I can pick up along the way, share them back with you. I do think that what I am going to do is fantastic. Pete says it sounds good. What I am going to do is I'm probably going to, as I get reacclimated with, for example, StreamYard, I will probably create a video or two. I used to make videos for StreamYard, and because of that, I always felt a little limited on some of the content I would make in my Q&As and things like that for StreamYard. I felt like it was a little redundant with what I was doing on my own I don't know, whatever. It's probably something stupid that I just put in my own head. But I also used to have a course, and I had StreamYard tutorials in the course as part of the bonus. And I didn't really want to make those tutorials public. I didn't want to be making tutorials public because I felt like that was one of the offerings I made inside the course for my students. And so now that all that's behind me and I'm not actively, doing any boot camps or actively doing any group coaching or anything like that, I feel more comfortable just putting out there whatever I want. And so I feel very free. I feel extremely free. I have no contracts. I have nothing binding. I don't even have to use StreamYard if I don't want to use StreamYard. Like, there is nothing binding me to anything. The only thing I have that's binding me is my actual job, my corporate job, my actual main job, which will limit my availability to do as many streams during the day and things like that. So, that's a difference. I've got a day job, if you will, right? And it also requires me to travel a lot. So, but I am planning on, I have the gear, I have the perfect setup. I am planning on possibly taking some streams on the road with me. So one of the things that what I was getting at is that I think I'll do is, as I for example, when I learn scenes, I should probably make a video about that, right? I should probably say, hey, here's how you use scenes, because I know that a lot of the people who do follow my channel and do chime in or come in every once in a while, they are either current or past StreamYard users. And if you're a past StreamYard user, it's likely because you got caught up in and got frustrated when StreamYard raised their prices and went through all that shenanigans a couple of years ago. And it was kind of this disrupting moment in the StreamYard world. And it just kind of gave people, I think, an excuse to say, maybe I don't want to use StreamYard anymore. I've been thinking about changing anyway. Maybe I should try something else. And then it did get people to try other things, and maybe they left the application at that point, or they stopped streaming. They said, I can't afford this application anymore, and they just stopped. And they said, I'll figure it out, and they never did. My point is that pretty much all of the applications have raised their prices now. So the game, the playing field is a little more level. I will say that I feel like Restream is kind of not there. They never were there, in my opinion. The only thing they were better at than StreamYard is their output. Their video output was higher quality. That is not the case anymore. StreamYard's updated their encoder and it's all better. I think it's the encoder. I may be misquoting that, but that is way better than it used to be. So that was my only beef before. So, my point is that I feel like a lot of the people who still follow me would find value in me saying, maybe you've not been on StreamYard for a while. Let me help you learn what's new. Because, hey, look, I'll be honest with you. StreamYard's not putting out any of those tutorials. They still have a great website that has some articles, I think, but there really isn't any content that's just good tutorial, quick videos. I do feel like that's in their roadmap and their plan. I just can kind of tell by the way they're evolving their content. They used to do stuff. They used to have creators like me go live, do Q&As, do videos, do tutorials. They had plenty of that going on. And then the acquisition happened with Bending Spoons. And it was like everything stopped. It was like they got rid of all the creators, they got rid of all the partnerships, they got rid of the StreamYard team, and they just stopped everything. And then they just kind of they were like, what are we doing? I feel like they've regrouped and they've been evolving and they've been getting back, and I can see the evolution in their content strategy. So I do feel like they are eventually going to be doing that. I don't know for sure. I'm just making complete assumptions, you guys. That's what I see happening. I think that's going to happen. However, hey, I'm here to help you. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Robin said, looks like you painted. I did. I painted last weekend, I think. Yeah, I feel like it was last weekend, or maybe it was like Monday night. I don't remember. It was some night. I just got it done. And it's basically a very dark gray. It's actually peppercorn. If you're curious of the actual color, it is, I think it's Valspar. I don't think it's Sherwin-Williams. I think it's Valspar. The color is peppercorn, and it is a matte finish. So flat or matte, whatever you call it. And that will help, because darker colors, by the way, create more of a sheen. So typically, you use eggshell in a house. But the darker the color, it actually will create a little bit of a shiny look. And so this is a matte finish, but I also think that the matte finish is better as a backdrop in videos and things like that. So that's what I did. Tish said, Mel, you and I, and anyone that's gone live ever in the history of internet know that if it can happen, it will happen on live. There's always some kind of kink in the gears, 100%. Not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, for sure. So I think that what you'll start to see as I keep moving forward is I'll be creating some pre-recorded videos. They're probably going to be short and to the point and punchy. It's an area that I never felt like I got better with it over time, but it's harder for me to create a pre-recorded video. It requires more planning. It requires more thoughtfulness. And, there's the editing. And then also you got to be on it. You got to be to the point. You got to be on it. You can't really dilly dally. You can't sit here and, chit chat and sip on your water and, whatever, during a pre-recorded video, because people want to get in and they want to get out. So, I am not always great at that, as many of you know. So live tutorials all day long. Problem with live tutorials is they can take forever, they take longer, and you can lose people. But at the same time, you can interact, you can have the questions in the Q&A, so you can support people as they're, you're teaching them. So I do think there's a place for both. I like it. But I want to create more pre-recorded videos. So there'll be tutorials, but there may be some other things too. So you know what I'm really not liking? I think it's my monitor. I don't know. His face is getting red, getting flushed and hot. Yes, Robin said Kirk Nugent still makes some StreamYard tutorials. He does, and they're always really good. So I think he does a great job with them. What does this say? What are you guys talking about? I don't even know what you are talking about right now. I don't even know who Dobby is. Don't know. You guys have to fill me in. Master gave Dobby a sock. What? I don't even know. You way over my head, guys. Way over my head. Oh, Harry Potter. That's why I've never watched those movies. I've seen parts of them. Oh yeah, Tish, I remember you saying that. So Tish is evolving her stuff as well. And she was saying that before, either on comments on my stream or somewhere else, that you were figuring out you were going to put some dividers in your studio. I remember you saying that. Scrappy Not Crappy is still my jam. 100% still my jam. I could prove it to you in so many ways. I could prove it to you in so many ways. All right, let's see. So what I've been doing is I've been making these lists so that I remember what I want to do. The other thing that's crazy is I've been watching a lot of Pat Flynn lately. I've always been a Pat Flynn fan. I like the way he explains things. I've always enjoyed. I've really never listened to his podcast. For whatever reason, I've tried listening to it. I just couldn't really get into it, but I love his videos, and he's been doing a lot of stuff about shorts. He's on this, kind of 30-day short challenge with his audience, but I like Pat because Pat's willing to try different things, and I don't know, I've been finding a lot of inspiration from him lately, and so I think I might try the shorts thing too. I just don't know what the shorts thing for me is. It makes sense in so many ways for certain types of channels. I don't know where it makes sense for me yet. I know it makes sense. I just don't know where yet. I really don't, because, I don't want to just do a short just to do a short. I don't want to necessarily try to create these viral shorts. Like, I don't want to do the daily challenge thing, like the guy kicking the rock until it gets round. That sounds cool though. I'd love to come up with something like that just for fun, but that doesn't belong on this channel. You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, it sounds fun, and yes, it sounds cool in regards to, if you're experimenting with things. I just don't know what I would do with that yet. So that's kind of one of those things that I just am not there yet. Robin says, would a webcam holder clipped to a paint stick that tapes to the pull of my monitor stand be scrappy or crappy? Hey, if it works, it's not crappy. It sure as hell is scrappy. But if it works and that webcam is working and nobody can tell the difference, it ain't crappy. That's the point. Scrappy doesn't mean it has to be crappy. So scrappy's not always crappy. That's the whole point. It's 100%, 1000% scrappy. It's only crappy if it doesn't work, Robin. There you go. How's that for an answer? Pat Flynn is real. Pat Flynn is real, not all glam flam, if that makes sense. It does, and I agree with you. You guys, do you remember, were you guys around when I used to have the lights? Remember when I used to have that big white IKEA cube, big thing, the shelving unit, and I first put lights in it? Those were some cheap lights I bought at Walmart, Monster brand, I think. And I used blue painter's tape to tape them to the back of the unit. Do you guys remember this? 100% had painter's tape. That's how they were mounted. Yeah, they worked. 100%. Selfie stick, duct tape to the stack of duct tape boxes to hold my phone. I feel like you sent a pic. I feel like I saw a picture of that. Mike remembers. He's like, I remember those. Yeah, Daniel Chi and Luria used to give me such a hard time about them too, because every once in a while they'd fall down in the middle of a stream. Oh man, that's when they were crappy. Is when they fell down. But people liked them. They remembered them. So it worked out. I'm trying to decide about the live stream show flow too. Like, what do I want my new show flow to be like? Do I want to have the video in the beginning? I like the outro videos a lot. I like a good warm-up video too. Not a long one at all. But I do like a good warm-up to a stream for sure. But I like the outro. StreamYard has absolutely made that easy. You can literally just pick a video and play it as your outro, which is what I do now. And I love that feature. It's fantastic. So that's one thing I'll be doing. So I was going to play with some cameras tonight, but the problem is that I don't have the proper... Well, I have that one. I've got a really old Logitech 920. What I want to do is I want to set up a behind the scenes camera, and I don't necessarily need it to be fancy. I just want to be able to every once in a while pop that behind the scenes cam, and I want it to be from over here. The whiteboard is on this side, and I want it over there to be shining this way. I also want to be able to have a camera that I can possibly grab and, you know, move around or do something. That's why I liked the idea of the OBS spot camera, because I wouldn't really need that. I can literally just go pop to the behind the scenes, and it's gonna, if I need to get up, it's gonna follow me. So, I don't know. It's funny because I don't feel like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people have almost abandoned the whole live production. Unless you're watching, like, you know, a Pat McAfee show, or, you know, the Niman guys, they're still doing it. They've got about 3 camera angles that they use. They've got the Nick angle, they've got the D angle, and then they've got the one that's the front of them, and it shows both of them. But I definitely don't feel like I'm seeing the same. Now, granted, it could also just be the content I'm consuming for the most part. What I'm seeing is, for the most part, people just have 2 cameras. Maybe that's also because now with 4K streaming, you have to have the 4K inputs and the 4K cameras. And I do think that before, when it was mostly just 1080p outputs, you could just use the A10 Mini, which is what I used to use a long time ago, because you weren't pushing a 4K signal anyway, and you could hook all kinds of crap up to that thing, you know, and whatnot. So I almost feel like that could be part of it. I'm wondering, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, like, it was this thing for a while, and now it's like everyone's going to this simplistic sort of kind of concept, and I'm okay with that. I actually think there's beauty in that for sure. I also think there's really good beauty in a good behind the scenes shot, but it doesn't have to be high end and 4K and whatever, because you're not going to have it on there very much, but for sure. Our Happy Path says, Love the colors on the wall behind you. Really nice vibe. Yeah, so I painted a very dark gray, and we've got one Govee spotlight shining down. By the way, my hair light, if you will, is the other spotlight. These are track lights. These are old 1990s track lights. I believe they're 1990s because this house was built in 94, and these were probably there then. That's my guess. If not, they're not that much longer than that. But they just take the regular bulbs, and so I just looked up at one, and now I'm blinded. So what I did is I bought the Govee one. I have two, and I don't know where I'm going to put the other one. And then the other one, so they're actually pointing opposite directions. So I have one shining like this. That is basically creating this hair light. It's perfect. And then I have one shining in my face, actually. So this sort of light over here is from the track light on the other side of the room. If I had a behind the scenes camera, you could see all this. See? And then I have the key light. Elgato key light up here turned almost all the way down. But if I turn that off, you'll see what. So it's not a lot of light coming from the other, but it's just enough to make it so that I am getting a slight shadow on this side and then illuminating here. And then of course the purple light is the other Govee light shining on the wall, and I can change that color. But I do think that that color looks nice. I like it, right? So a lot of the people I watch have a camera person. I do not. Well, I have Mikey, but he's playing Oz on the computer. So honestly, that's what I mean. Unless you're like watching a Pat McAfee show or something else, those are like produced shows. They literally have a producer, and that's great and it's wonderful. I do still see that. Those are higher end shows. They're sponsored shows. They are, they've got deals, whatever. So you still have that out there. And with YouTube, TV, just so much is evolving with it all, but I'm just not seeing the regular people like us doing it as much. So I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm gonna keep paying attention though. Yeah, dang says, just put your phone over there, plugged into a battery on a tripod, and invite the phone as a guest. That would be good enough for behind the scenes and MovieZ. Yeah, I don't disagree. In fact, that is a very easy hack. I haven't done that in a while. So I don't know if you guys remember, if you used your phone like that, there was always the weird audio issue because even though you turned your phone down all the way, it wouldn't fully turn down all the way. There was always some sort of sound coming out of it. So you had to kind of figure out a way through that. I think that works. I'm all about it. I love it. I love when people can use their phone as the extra camera. In fact, what I like to use that extra camera for, the phone as a camera for, is when I do need to get up and walk around and give you guys a tour. And what he just described, basically having your phone be a guest in your stream, is the way to do that, as long as you can make sure that you don't have any echo issues or anything like that. So you got to make sure you've got all that properly set up. What I don't like about using a phone during my live streams is a few things. You got to remember to make sure that your cache hasn't been cleared and you can get into it, get it all set up. The other thing is, like he said, your phone will use its battery pretty quickly. I also, sometimes I need my phone when I still need it. Check it. I want to look something up. Somebody might be texting me because they're watching behind the scenes and they're giving me some information, or lo and behold, my kid needs me, right? So I never feel comfortable using my phone as the web camera, because the other thing is you've got to put that thing on do not disturb. You can't have the phone. And I like to have my phone available. Now, if I had an extra phone that wasn't an active phone, that would work too, So, as he said, in fact, it's a great mobile, give a tour or whatever type of style. So that works. I saw Joanne Benko's here. Yeah, she said, so glad to see you. Yeah, what's up, sister? Let's see. Scotland. Okay, I didn't know. I knew you were overseas, but I did not know where. It is 1:11 in the morning. You are up late. That is for sure. So, Scotland. Sharon, hello. She says, StreamYard's so expensive now, and buying subscription in Canadian dollars adds 30% more. Way out of my budget. Yeah, here's what I'll say, Sharon. If you don't need to stream to a lot of destinations, multi-stream is what I mean by that. If you don't need to multi-stream to a lot of destinations and you don't need the extra camera, then you can go to that first paid plan, which I want to say is like $44 or $49, which is, I think, what the pro plan used to be. If you don't need that will give you 1080p output, and it will give you most of the great features. I agree. It has gotten more expensive. The bad news is they all have. So they're all the same price points now. The biggest differences are what features are important to you. And so, if you don't need the multi-aspect ratio streaming, and you don't need webinars, and you don't need certain stuff, you don't need the highest paid plan. So if you want to still utilize StreamYard because it's simplicity and it's so easy, I personally still think it's the best from a browser-based style of streaming application. You can use OBS. It's free, but it's harder to use. It's also harder on your computer. So unless you have a really good, fast processor, beefy computer, OBS is probably not going to work that great for you. You've got other applications that are a similar style. Browser-based, I think StreamYard is top-notch. I think it's still the best one, and they're not paying me to say that. And they're not paying me for anything. The only thing they're paying me for is as an affiliate, which that link is in the description. If you want a 14-day free trial, that is there. That's just an affiliate link. But I am not a contractor for them. I'm not a partner. I have no deals with them. I have nothing at all anymore. So I can say whatever I want. That is an unbiased opinion. I believe StreamYard is the easiest and the best from a browser-based application. And I've tried quite a few of them. But for the money, that's what I'm getting at. Did you guys see that glitch? Or is that just me? Did you see the camera glitch? That is, I think, possibly because I have a setting that I need to adjust on the camera. I think, but not sure. Marianne's here. What's going on, dear? Good to see you. Oh, it's doing it again. Are you seeing the glitch? Did you see the glitch? Sharon says, I do like StreamYard. Yeah, like I said, unless you need, that crazy multi-streaming to all those destinations and some of that, you probably don't need the expensive plan. You probably can stick with that middle plan, which is what the pro plan used to be as far as price-wise. But you get some great features in there for sure. No glitch. Okay, I'm seeing it, so it could just be a thing in the studio. So thank goodness. It was like the camera was like flashing. It was weird. Okay. More than one person said no glitch, so I trust that we're good. I appreciate it. Again, love the feedback. It's fantastic. So that's where I'm at with things. Honestly, I wasn't real sure what I was going to do. I was like, when I get back to creating content and streaming, I wasn't sure what I was going to use. And I will say there were two major things holding me back from going live again. One was the internet issues. I was having some internet challenges, and I felt like the internet was causing part of my high quality output issues. That was actually partially StreamYard not updating some stuff. They've done that. It's all good. I'm very pleased with the output quality for a browser-based application. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. And so that makes me very excited because I wanted to be able to use a tool that I felt good, that it was worth the money, and that I could stand behind. And that's where I'm at. They've come back around for me. So I feel good about it. Let's see. Pete says, do you want attention or retention? I have always been a retention person. What he means is, are you wanting to get, I think what you're asking, Pete, I'll rephrase what you're asking and answer the question. And you can tell me if I got you wrong. Attention is like, do you want to go, you want to get people's attention, right? You obviously always want to get people's attention, but my number one focus is retention. I want to have people come back. I want to have people, I want to create relationships with my audience. I know that I'm not always going to create a relationship with all of my audience. And some people are going to come watch one video and never subscribe and never come back again and never see me again. That's completely fine too. But my main objective and the main people I want to serve is my community. My audience is a community to me, which is the other reason why I love live streaming, is because you can sit here and chat with people, you can talk, you can get to know people. So for me, my focus and objective has always been retention. So yes, he's referring to shorts is, attention, long form is retention. I think you need a mix of both, Pete. I'm a big fan of the trifecta, as I call it. I haven't necessarily done it very well on my own channel. That is a goal. That is one of my goals. I need to write that down as that trifecta. Because I believe that in order to truly do it and do it right and do it the best, you need all three. You need shorts, you need long form or pre-recorded videos, and then you also need live streams. These shorts are a great way to attract new people into your world because it's quick, it's non-committal, I'm going to watch this, for 1 minute or 3 minutes, and then they might get another one. They might get another one of you. They can kind of get these quick bites of you, right? A taste of what you are. But then they might go to your channel and then they're going to see, oh, she's got this video about how to do XYZ. I'm going to watch that. That was really helpful. Or the algorithm is going to start to serve them more of your long form because they've interacted a little bit with you. So it's going to start to present, if it's related to what they are interested in, which hopefully that's the whole point, right? Your shorts have put them into, they put you into their world on purpose, through the algorithm. And then they watch maybe one long form. They're like, I love this chick. This is the way I work. This is the way I operate. I'll see somebody a few times and then finally I'll consume something. And I'm like, you know what? And then I'll look at a couple more. I'm like, yeah, they're definitely my vibe. I'm going to subscribe. And I subscribe. And the purpose of subscribing for me is because I want them to I want to send the signal to YouTube that I like this person. But more importantly, I want to know when they post a new piece of content. And if they go live, which I feel like so many people don't, which is a miss, then I want to know that too. And so that's the whole journey, right? And then the live streams is how you get to know your audience. I don't know about you guys, but I love it when I'm on a live stream and there might be hundreds of people watching and I comment and they respond to my comment or they display my comment on screen. I'm like, this is fantastic. I feel like I just sat down and I sat down and you took a selfie with you or something. It's really great. And that's the same kind of experience that you can create for your people. So for me personally, I am a big believer in the trifecta. Again, haven't necessarily been a good leading example for everyone. However, it is the goal. So I saw something else. Let's see. Our Happy Path said, would you ever consider doing more vlog type content now that you're back online? Although we do enjoy techie content. Yeah, so that's actually, I love this question because that's sort of something that I think that I want to do that. I think I do. I think that if you, those of you that have really been around for a long time with me know that I'm more than just a tech person. I am also very motivational. I like to inspire people. I like to help people get unlocked. I like to help people get unstuck beyond the tech. The tech is more, in my opinion, I think tech and having the knowledge about how to do something is empowering and it equips you. Like knowing how to set up a camera and it be a really nice camera and you feel like, wow, that looks really good. It empowers you. It creates this fun energy that makes you feel more confident in doing something. Now, I know that true confidence comes from actual action. And so I like to unlock all that other stuff for people too, because then people hide behind the tech. They hide behind the how to. And it's like, well, I can't do that yet because I don't know how yet, whatever. I like to teach the tech because I do think that it is freeing and it unlocks things and it creates power. It's a powerful feeling to learn how to do something really freaking cool and be like, look at that. I can do that. And my streams have that too, or my content has that too. So I love the tech, but I also love the mindset stuff, the deep stuff, especially females. I love to help women. And I think for me, that's where I really get deep. I think that probably fits more of maybe me recording myself on a walk or sitting outside on the back porch, having just a chat with you, right? Maybe I'm feeling that spark of motivation because I just got done running or walking around my neighborhood and I just want to share it with you in the moment. I might just grab my phone and record a motivational message and it's going to be a little vloggy, but quick. I do see that. And I think it could work on my channel. So I love that you asked this question because it's actually something. So before I stopped creating content, in fact, I think it's still my very last pre-recorded video. I'd have to go look. Is me trying some different styles of environments of recording because I wanted to kind of play around with it. And then I made a video about here's some different ways that you can record, yourself doing these videos. And I was like, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be record myself in the car, record myself on a walk, record myself on the back patio, maybe standing in my kitchen, you know, and I never made another video after that. But my point is that I was absolutely already thinking and wanting to go in that direction. And I like it. I think that there's something about creating the energy of me being on a walk with you and having kind of a calmer conversation is maybe the energy you might need me to be in when I'm having something that's a little bit deeper. So I think it can feel and be right. So I do want to do it. I am considering it because I like it. I'm enjoying actually that style of content as well from people when they do it right. Whatever, Robin, because you could read the phone book and we'll show up. Oh, you're so sweet. Marianne says, I'm loving the lighting. Yeah, we're working on it. We're trying different stuff. It might look different next time. I do love this. I love this IKEA shelf. I literally was like, I know that I want some brown and some warmer tones. We talked about that, I think on the last live. I wanted some plants and some green. That's sort of the vibe I've got going on up in the house. And so I was like, the other night I was coming back from Chicago and Addie had plans. So I told her, I said, I'm going to pop into IKEA on my way back because it's like about 45 minutes from the house, but it's on the way when I'm on my day trip to visit a client, which was 8 hours on the road, 4 hours there and 4 hours back. And I was like, I'm gonna stop in IKEA. So I popped in IKEA. There's nobody in there. It was freaking amazing. And I had seen this before, this unit, and I was like, that'll be perfect. It's the perfect size. It's got the brown. It's got the metal. It's kind of industrial look. It'll work. And I got it. And I really like how it turned out. It was easy to put together. And then, of course, you know, we're working on, gosh, I keep getting that backwards. See, that's something I used to be really good at, knowing which side things were. And I have lost that. I got to get that back. And so I think it's looking pretty good. Let's see. Tish says, I think if people see a quick bite from me, they'll be like, what the heck is this woman doing? And not always in a good way. So I'm unsure about shorts. I don't know, Tish. You know what I'm going to say. You've heard me say it before. I think a bite of you, if somebody doesn't like it, or they're like, what, they can't vibe with it, or they can't connect with it, or whatever, that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with them. They're just not a good fit, right? And that's fine. I think that's actually part of the beauty in shorts, is that you're going to be casting this net so wide on the types of people you might bring in, and they're going to know quickly whether or not that you're a good fit for them. And that's what you want. It's a quick test versus someone watching a live stream and getting annoyed and then like maybe making a crappy comment, like, you know. So I like it. I think that you just got to remember that it is very much a matching game, and we're not always going to be a match with everyone that comes in our world. And that's a good thing, because, you know, you don't want people that aren't a good fit to subscribe and then be disappointed because your shorts, you know, accommodated something they needed, but then the real you isn't that. So that's the beauty of just being real at all times. So if you say that they get a bite of you and they aren't going to know what then they're just not the right fit. That's what I say. So yeah. So Marion was talking about like that, when you feel good about, you know, you can advance your tech and stuff like that. And Marianne is somebody who's been doing that. You know, she used to use StreamYard. She's now using Ecamm. So she's created her own custom scenes, and like, she's all about it. She's the Ecamm fam, right? She's part of that Ecamm fam, which is great. And if you're a Mac user, that's what you can use. I think I might've been blowing with the FEF, and I'm sorry if you're still watching FEF, I missed that question. I think I saw it come through. You were asking about what kind of computer. I'm using a PC. In fact, I'm still using my old PC that I bought. Gosh, is this the Dell G5? I don't know what this is. Yeah, it is. It's the Dell G5. I think I've had this like 5 years, 4 years maybe. I'm not sure, but I upgraded the RAM in it by myself. I figured it out. It was very cool. I got those cool RGB ones and I updated it so it's got more RAM. It was easy to do. This computer's been great for me. I've actually been very pleased with it. So it's just a PC tower. The only thing is it's just a big old clunky machine, but it has lots of ports, which makes that pretty easy. But Marianne's using a Mac, which is why she's using Ecamm. But what I was saying is that Marianne has done a really nice job really elevating over time her streams, and she's gotten to a point where, you know, she's just really leveled up, and you don't have to start that way. You can do that over time. That's the beauty of it. Let's see. Sharon says, I just bought a refurbished, upgraded Lenovo ThinkPad T480 2018, i7 Intel, 24 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, 512 hard drive. That's cheap, $200. That's fantastic. Yeah, I would say 24 gigabytes of RAM is probably fine. That's a newer processor. ThinkPads in the past, I think were a kind of a lighter form of a laptop, but those guts sound just fine. And so like refurbished, guys, it's just a refurbished computer. They can put all that new stuff in there. That can be one of the ways to go for sure. As long as it's, been cleaned and it's been tightened up, because, pieces can get loose, and if the motherboard's not clean and things like that, you can run into issues. But usually when you go somewhere that knows what they're doing and they refurbish it properly, it can be pretty much like having a brand new computer. Pete says, you need to do the coffee session, invite a couple of subscribers you have trust in, and discuss the shortfalls of what we are doing, and then brainstorm it out. Yeah, that would be a pretty cool piece of content, actually, to do like a little kind of roundtable discussion kind of thing. I think that'd be super fun. I also want to do the video podcasting. That is a form of content I've not done for the most part, but I definitely want to do that. That's why I think eventually you're going to see a chair back here, and that's going to be kind of where that's at for sure. Mary says, because I started Scrappy and was okay with it because of you, Mel. Oh, I love that. We were talking about the Scrappy, not crappy earlier, probably before you joined us. Tish says, I'll try a few more. Yeah, you will, sister. Just keep at it. You'll figure it out. Robin says, I'm still over here on the struggle bus. Small reach, very inconsistent. My time has been spent with elderly parents over the past several years. Consistency is my goal for 2026. Robin, I will tell you honestly, that is, in fact, 2 Saturdays ago, not this past Saturday, the Saturday before, I happened to catch Nick and Dee on their show, the Niman Live show, and I feel like I remember hearing them say, Nick even saying, he's been way inconsistent. He's kind of fallen off the wagon, if you will. I think he's got a lot of clients and stuff and whatnot, but he used to be super regimented, super consistent too. And he was even saying that he's even gotten off track, but he was talking about this, and I can absolutely attest to this. When in my past, when I look at when things were going well for me, both from reach, from exposure, to affiliate income, to I'll call them partner streams, or just being asked to be a guest in other people's content, like all that momentum and all that energy. And then of course, revenue and just stuff. It was 100%. I can chalk up those times when things were going well and firing on all cylinders, when I was consistent. Not even necessarily like what I would call a robust content strategy, but just consistent. And it wasn't even pre-recorded videos or whatever. Like, it was just lives. I was consistent with my lives. And when I was really on fire and engaged in my Facebook group, which I need to make a decision there. That's the other thing I should write down. Should I keep the Facebook group going, or should I whatever? There's a lot of people in there that probably like don't even remember that it exists. But do I keep that community? Do I revamp it? Do I revitalize it? Or do I start over? And that's what I got to decide. My point is that even when I was like really consistent and on top of things with that and everything all together, that's when I was launching my group coaching programs, and it was working. I mean, I had good launches, and I will say the one thing I can chalk it all up to was consistency. So even like, I would even throw quality out the window. I would throw so much of that stuff out of the way. If the one thing you can focus on is consistency, do it. Like, if you can focus on one thing, make it consistency. Don't even make it super high quality or whatever, just consistency, and try it and just see what happens. Pick a few things and just be consistent with it. Our Happy Path says, I kind of missed using StreamYard. We use it for our business and it worked well. However, now we have a personal YouTube channel, which is vlogs of our life. Not sure lives fit what we now do. I will make it a point to check it out and to see what that looks like, right? And kind of give you my thought. I I personally okay, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to put that back up in case somebody wonders what the hell I'm talking about when they pop in. I'm going to tell you that if a vlogging channel, if I'm watching somebody and I'm used to watching their lifestyle kind of style stuff and it's vlogging, and I like it and I enjoy it, and I'm like, I just like kind of listening to them in the background or whatever it is, whatever style it is, doesn't matter. And all of a sudden, I got a notification that they were live. Do you know how fast I would jump on that live? I'd be like, what? I would jump on it so fast. An opportunity to hang out with and talk to these people I've been watching. Like, you bet your butts I'm going to join in that. I want you to think for a minute. Who do you watch? Let's say, like, who do you watch? I'm going to throw a really silly example out there. Well, just say Chip and Joanna Gaines, like, right? Like the Fixer Upper couple, Magnolia, that whole thing. What if all of a sudden, like, they were live? What if all of a sudden you had an opportunity they were live and you got to talk to them and possibly them answer your question? And you were a big fan of that content. Don't you think you'd be jumping on that? You wouldn't be like, whatever, Chip and Joanna are live, I don't care. No, you'd be like, what? I'm in. How fast would you be like jumping into that? So now, do you need to do it all the time? No, that might be the secret sauce, is that it's every once in a while you're going to go live, right? And every once in a while you're just like, also I think for lifestyle channels or vlog channels, having like a live reveal, or I'm going to check your channel out. And then the next time that you're hanging out with me, I'm going to be able to give you a more specific direction here. Small channel or not, truly. I will tell you, the way you build a community is in the comments and it's in live streams. That's where it's at, truly. Pulling with the Febs. It's kind of like I jumped on seeing your name pop up on my phone at Melanie Diane. Yeah, kind of similar, right? Like, I haven't been doing this for a while, so people are like trying to jumping in. It's like, wait, what's she doing? It's different, right? And it's live. So it's like, I better go now because it's only going to last so long. Here's what I'll caution you on. Now, I don't typically give this type of advice because I don't want to scare anyone away. I am going to say this though. I am not a fan of when people just randomly go live and it's like them just filming a parade, or them just filming like a concert, or filming a fireworks, or they're just randomly going live. Like, it's like, what's the point? Don't go live unless you're going to be engaging with your audience. Don't go live unless you intend to be live and be live for a while. When I see these people randomly just like do like a 4-minute live stream, and it's really like, why didn't you just record the video and then post it? Like, and it's usually on Facebook, right? It's silly. It's just silly people that aren't true video people. But don't do that, right? Your live needs to have intention. And that intention mostly is to interact with your audience. Now, let's say you go live because you have a small channel and there's not a lot of people that show up with you. That's okay too. That might be how it is for a while when you first start going live. So you do need to have a plan. You do need to have some value that you're going to bring. Don't rely on just comments. In fact, tonight, literally, I think 99% of my focus has been talking to you guys in the comments because you're here. There's people here and you're chatting with me. So we're chatting. If people didn't show up, I was going to tinker with something and figure something out. But we're hanging out and I love it. So again, remember, don't forget to, it's Tech with Tay. I'm sorry. I thought that said bowling with the Fef. Sorry. I looked at it fast. I apologize. My bad. But yes, I do remember you. Yes. Okay, hold on. Back to it. So I think your live streams can create and build the community. And that is, in my opinion, where community does get built, is either how you respond in comments and having those conversations, or showing up live and being able to do it. So 100%, I think you got to do it that way. I want to go back to a couple more comments. I saw a couple of things in here. So anyway, our happy path, I think you should think about that live. I'm going to think about that a little bit more. I'm going to check out your channel, and I'm going to have a more specific direction for you next time I'm live when you're joining us. So Joanne says, I took a leave from YouTube too. Some medical issues took tackle, missing live stream. Well, Joanne, I hope that you are doing better. I hope that you are on the mend, and whatever that was for you, I hope that's behind you. And you know, that happens. But here's what's interesting, Joanne, you're not alone. I mean, there are so many people that are like, have disappeared. People like big names have disappeared. So it's not there. There is definitely something that happened. I'll say between, I'll just go ahead and say a year and a half ago and a year ago. It's like people just, I don't know what happened. And I was one of those people. I can tell you my reasonings were more around, I had gone back into the professional world. So that made going live harder and harder. And then the StreamYard thing, not to blame it on StreamYard at all. I'm just saying that StreamYard hiccup of when they changed acquisition again, they raised their prices, and they decided to completely change their content strategy. For me, it was like a reset button. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not sure how comfortable I am being a brand ambassador and continuing to create content for you guys. There's a few things I'm seeing that I'm just not really on board with. And it's all good. Like, I love the company. I love the application still. But I literally was like, I'm attaching my name to you. And there's a few things I'm not good with. And I express those things. And they're like, hey, here's our plan. Here's a plan. And it just didn't happen. I will tell you, the new people involved right now, Mateo, and then there's a new guy. They're fantastic. They're amazing. But there was a period of time when things just, the communication wasn't there. The support wasn't there. They raised the prices, blah, blah, blah. That created a hiccup for me. And it was like, okay, Mel, you got to like reset your a little bit of your identity here, because so much of it relies heavily on StreamYard. And so I struggle with that, and it created that hiccup, and I never really got back. So I think hiccups happen, and people, dropped. Your hiccup might have been medical. Your hiccup may have been even started with something else, and then the medical thing got in the way. For me, honestly, I got out of a damn near 8-year relationship. And I mean, we bought this house together. Like, it was like a divorce. So that was another hiccup for me. And I'll be honest with you, I think that created a lot of clarity for me. And it created it reduced a lot of noise that was there before, right? And I was able to kind of like have this clear mind. And one of the things that was in that clear mind was, I need to get back to doing that. I need to get back to what I love to do, which is getting online, helping people in whatever format that looks like. But then it's taken me some time. My hiccups were also IT issues, mainly internet issues. And so I was having some hiccups as well. But I will say that jump back in, don't focus on all that why, and just get back to it. We're calling this the awkward comeback of 2026. So maybe it's time for you guys to have your awkward comebacks of 2026 as well. It can look different. It can be similar. It doesn't matter. So back to our happy path. Marianne says, yeah, me too. To see them in their habitat, non-edited. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people would really like gravitate towards that live, for sure. So Pete says, 2026, I'll be live streaming out when doing my photography, helping people understand what I see, why I take what I take in only a couple of images. So you'll have to stay up for that. That's cool. Yeah, I know. You're always on a completely different timetable, 100% different timetable than most of us. Same with Marianne. I don't even know what time it is where you are, Marianne. Marianne, it's like early in the day for you, I think. Robin says, I've been live streaming for 4+ years and never hit 10 live viewers. I just don't draw people even in real life. Hey, you know what though? I disagree. And I've always said this to you, Robin. There's people out there for everybody. Have you seen some of those weird channels? I know you all have. And we're not naming names. This is not what we do on this channel. But there are some weird channels out there. And when I say weird, I'm literally like, there might be something wrong with these people. But like, there's some really strange stuff on Instagram, on YouTube. It's there. And there are like cult followings practically. So I'm not saying that's you. I'm not saying you're weird, Robin. I'm just saying there are people out there for everybody. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep saying that. Tish makes a great point here. I think it's actually really smart and I like it. So I want to make sure I point this out. She said the best time to start live streaming is when you're small. You get your flow while no one is there. Just my thought. I agree. I mean, I think if you're scared of it and it's one of those things, it's extremely, it can be a little terrifying, but the beauty in doing it when you're small is that nobody's watching, so you can figure it out, right? And that's kind of the fun part. Dang said, when I saw Mel go live for the first time in a year, same as my monthly live, I almost canceled my live to watch hers. You know, I remember that night. I think you got to hang out with us for a little bit in the beginning, but your live was at the same time. Yeah, that's kind of funny. You should never cancel your live for me. Never. Oh, that's fantastic. So Tay says you can now you can't say no if you don't. You can say no if you don't. I do. No, I do actually. When I saw your thing come up, I thought it said bowling with the Pfeff because sometimes I actually read with my peripheral. I truly do. And I'm literally reading and I thought I saw bowling with the Pfeff in my peripheral. I watch more than I comment, but I've been watching your stuff for a while, even on the StreamYard channel. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Joanne says she's coming back. Let's do it. Make it. I'm telling you, 2026. Awkward comeback 2026. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Sharon says, yeah, getting out of a long-term relationship gave me clarity too. Heck yes, it did. Oh boy. Did it ever. It sure did. I'll tell you what. This has been so fun. I love this. Marion says it's lunchtime. I think I smell food. I'm pretty sure Addie has made some food upstairs. Like I smell it. I'm trying to guess what it is. I would almost say it almost reminds me of pasta, but I don't think that's what she made. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think she's made something up there. Let's hope that's what it is. I don't know what else is going on. The lava lamp is cooking something back there. I'm not sure. Let's hope not. But I smell food. It actually is making me hungry, but it's all good. Let's see. I'll tell you what. I am going to wrap this up because we've been going for about an hour and a half, which is fantastic. And we could probably sit here and hang out all night, but it's 8:45 for me. I am absolutely trying to get my butt in bed earlier these days. I'm trying to do so many healthier habits. You know what? I was listening to a podcast the other day. I'm going to leave you with this. Ed Milet. Ed Milet, however you say it. The Ed Milet Show, as his little introduction says or whatever. I really like Ed's stuff a lot. He's a perfect example of, he says a lot of the same things over and over again, but I still like to listen to it and people still like to listen to him and whatever. And he's like saying the same stuff, but just in a different season of his life. I really I was listening to a episode of his not that long ago, and he was talking about 20 habits. So he's talking about 20 habits that have changed his life or will change your life, whatever. And, you know, he talks about sleep being one of the things that he believes and predicts in the future. I see this little hair right here and it keeps distracting me. Now it's there. But sleep being one of the major like health things like that. And they're going to look back and they're going to talk about how, you know, sleep is like the best medicine of everything. You know, bad sleep is what's causing all these illnesses. Bad sleep is what's caused like, you know, kind of like everyone used to smoke and no one knew it was bad for you. And then smoking is the worst thing in the world for you. Like nobody talked about sleep and it's going to be the new thing. Like he was talking about that, but I agree. I think sleep is so important, but for me, I don't sleep well. I've never been a good sleeper. So I'm trying to kind of have better routines in the evenings and in the mornings so that sleep is better. One thing I like to do, it's funny because a lot of things on this episode he did, I was already doing some of these things, or I used to do them and I stopped for some reason. Back to that clarity comment. One of the things that I do is oh yes, Marion, I will tell you that. I will absolutely do that. I used to do this and I'm back to doing it again. I write down my to-do list for the next day, the night before. I especially love to do this on Fridays, by the way. It helps me go into my weekend. So Friday before the work day ends, I make a list. I write down all the stuff, either carry over stuff that I didn't get to, or I write down my list so that I can know, hey, I can relax this weekend. And I know that when I sit down and start working on Monday morning, I've got a plan. And I won't have to, because I feel like the older I get, the noisier my brain gets. the older I get, the more forgetful I get. We all know that's a thing. But the older I get, it's like, even though like I have an experience in my life and the experience ends, it stays there. So like there's more in my brain and there's more distractions and there's more just goals and fun things I want to do and ideas. And it's like, it's crazy. My brain's a little chaotic and it makes it harder to carry things over. And I know that. And so therefore sometimes I'll have an underlying stress of, oh my God, what do I got to get done this week? Or I got to make sure I'm productive, whatever. So if I make that list the night before and on a Friday, of course, going into the weekend, it helps me have that peace of mind that I've got the plan, right? So yeah, Our Happy Life says I email myself. I do that sometimes if I think of something random and I want it in my inbox. I also use my reminders app in my phone religiously. I'll be laying there and I'm like, oh, something will pop in my head and I'm like, I know that's not going away. I know. So then I'll be like, I'll say, hey, to my phone, right? I'm not going to say it because then she's going to wake up. I'll say, hey, blah, blah, blah. Schedule Addie's driving lessons. Because, Addie's going to turn, she's 16 and she's eligible to get her license in March. But she has to have driving time with me, so many hours, but she has to have true instructor driving time as well. And we got to get those scheduled. So like, I'll think of that randomly, like, oh, get those scheduled. So like, that's just a silly example. But yes, I use that as well. But for me, when I get those things on paper, that helps me. So sleep, that helps me sleep better. And I've been going to bed earlier, drinking significantly less, especially like just, I find that even if I just have like a nightcap or whatever, like on a random time, I don't sleep as well. So like all kinds of things, just getting back to like the way things I used to do and things I used to be better about. And it's just like helped a lot. So sleep is huge. So my point with that, sharing before the little tidbits of wisdom, was that I'm not going to sit here and hang out with you for another hour like I used to. And I'm going to go start my process and wash my face and get my coffee ready for the morning. And I'm going to relax and try not to be on screen time. And I'm going to go to bed and hopefully sleep great and wake up tomorrow with a new fresh day. And keep continuing to hack away at my plan, which is, what does this look like? And I am excited to be here. I'm excited to be back and excited to unlock this again. I just needed to get to a place where I could just rip that Band-Aid off and I'm back. And so I'm excited. And I really appreciate those of you that hung out with me tonight and are here and are still here and have not unsubscribed from my channel. And your support means the world to me. So Marianne, really quick, and then I'm going to end it. My hair light, I think I can show you. I will. I'm going to show you. So my hair light is basically right there. And it is, you can see it there. It's shining down back there. It is just one of those old ass track lights, like 1990s style track lights. So let me add my camera again because I somehow accidentally dropped it. Whoa. What was that? Is it weird? I don't know what just happened. That? Oh, you know what? I have had this issue with my Elgato products before, or with my Rode product before. Hold on a second. All right, hold on. Stop this camera, because that's when it did it. Now that camera's not working. All right, let me get back. Extra camera. Cam link. Oh, why does that say 360? That's weird. Hold on. I don't know what just happened. See? What did Tish say? It's not a matter if, it's a matter of when. She's right. 1080. There we go. Cam link. Boom. But why did that edit? I think my camera powered off. Maybe. Let's see if that did it. See what happens, Marianne? Oh, it says it was unplugged. Plug it back in and select a different camera and try again. Okay, let's try it again. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's see. Extra camera. Cam link. Okay, it worked. Now, let's get that back. I don't know what in the heck. Let me... Whoa. Okay. Hold on. Let me disconnect this other camera and get it back. One sec. I don't know what's going on with that. All right. And I'm in a weird spot. So let me show you. Okay. I got it. I promise. Okay. Let me, it's telling you it's time for bed. See? My God. I don't know what just happened. That used to happen to me with a different one. And it also looks like it did something with the resolution. I don't know. Let me show Marianne really fast and y'all what this looks like, because y'all might want to see it. It might be a little blurry, but you'll get the idea. So yeah, basically that. Oh no, hi. I'll have to fix that later. This is a really great way to end the stream. But that's the track lighting you saw. So the one shining on the wall is a Govee light, and then the one shining on me is my hair light, right? So there you go. It's just the crappy old track light. And then I got another track light over there. So yeah, all right. Great time to end. I don't know what just happened, but we'll figure it out, won't we? All right, y'all. Really appreciate you. And wonder if we're going to do that outro video like we did last time, because it's super cool and fun and I like it. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate you. See you guys later. Peace out.